This reminds me of the time the heat went out in our old apartment back in Brooklyn. I was about, 7 years old, because I was still sleeping with my rag doll, Mrs. Doolittle. I remember I woke up in the middle of the night with my teeth chattering. I got out of bed, tiptoed to your bedroom door. I opened it a crack and I whispered, "Mommy, Mrs. Doolittle is cold. Mommy, Mrs. Doolittle."
Dorothy.
Yes, Ma.
Cut that crap. I'm not in the mood. Girls, can I please share your electric blanket?
No.
Oh, come on. I can't sleep. My bed's never been so cold, especially on a Saturday night.
Oh, all right, get in.
Listen, did you hear that sound?
Yeah, and as long as I'm in my own bed, I'll do what I want.
I mean, it sounded like the heat kicking on.
Thank God, get back to your own beds.
Hey, everybody. Well, what are you doing?
Oh, I've been tinkering with the heater, trying to get it to work.
Oh, Rose, you're a genius.
Boy, that's a sentence you don't hear every day.
She's working great now, except for one little thing. I turned the air conditioner on instead of the heater, and now it won't go off.
Now it's going to be colder inside than it is outside.
I think you're right. There's an icicle forming on the nose of my bunny slippers.
Oh, ow. There, that's not so bad.
Get your bunny nose out of my butt.
Let's just get some sleep.
Good night, Ma. Good night, Mo. Good night, Larry.
I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm on the wrong side of the bed.
Well, I usually sleep on the right side, and I want to be on the right side.
What the hell is everyone so particular about? In Sicily, 4 in a bed is a treat. It means half your family is on vacation. I slept with my 2 brothers until I was 17. I was engaged to one for a very short period of time. But that's a separate story.
I wouldn't mind hearing it.
Rose, shut up. Now, everybody, stay where you are and go to sleep. I have to go to work early in the morning.
Oh, darn, I forgot something.
Go in your pajamas.
No, it's not that. I forgot to say my prayers.
Oh, Rose, God wouldn't mind if you skipped a night. He's very busy these days. Most of his free time is spent talking to Pat Robertson.
Hello, God, it's me, Rose Nyland. I'm sorry to be getting in touch so late tonight. I hope I didn't wake you.
Oh, God.
One at a time, Blanche. Anyway, I just wanted to say I think you're still doing a terrific job. Of course, there's some things I don't understand, like poverty. And the spokesmodel category on Star Search. But then again, you work your wonders in mysterious ways. A couple of years ago, on a night like this, I would have frozen to death because I was by myself. Now I have Dorothy and Blanche and Sophia to keep me warm. Not just on a cold winter's night, but all year long. Take care of them, God. If anything happened, I just...
Rose, thanks for the lovely prayer. Now shut up and get into bed.
Amen.
Nice work, Arthur.
Wasn't me.
Sweet Jesus, am I in trouble?
Let's get into these Reddit comments, shall we?
Like Peter, everyone has First Amendment rights to exercise free speech and free assembly. He has his community. We have ours. Boundaries are important, especially with a man who has none. If Peter wants to read here and go scorched earth again, rage spiraling on his dwindling audience and lying to them about lurking here, that's his choice. If he wants to go berserk because some people think his lifestyle is lazy or his behavior is exceedingly narcissistic or he can't pronounce words correctly or they question his love of hummus, then that's also his decision. he wouldn't last a minute on TikTok, where people give their opinions and judgments as fast as lightning. His weak attempts to control others by shame, manipulation, lies and intimidation fall on deaf ears. If his babe, his neighborhood, that he says he loves, and the people who idolize him aren't enough for him, then that's his problem. I can't stand listening to him have a conversation with someone. All he does is spout off question after question without even listening to what the person is even saying. And every time they answer him, he repeats what they say back and laughs. Everybody just loves each other so much in their neighborhood, you quiz. He doesn't care or understand what the person is saying. That would require empathy and listening skills. LOL. He'd rather play games with them and use them for content and narcissistic supply. Peter often disguises his ridicule in the form of humor to elevate himself and gain control. He tears others down in ways that seem like harmless fun. He mocks people in attempts to humiliate them. His put-downs and insults are often framed as his jokes. He says something with a cutting smile or a mocking laugh. He says sarcastic things and belittling remarks with a smirk. Some of them give it right back to him. Some of them are totally caught off guard. Some of them sense his nasty and nuts and placate him with nervous laughter. When he's called out on his obnoxious behavior, he gaslights and blame shifts by saying certain people don't understand his jokes, don't have a sense of humor, or they are too sensitive. Classic narcissistic responses. Peter can heckle and insult people all day long, in his neighborhood and in online drama videos, but he can't take even the slightest pushback. Perhaps Peter would like a pacifier and a diaper change before his afternoon naps. LOL. I was waiting for the day when an emotionally intelligent person recognized the insult, waited a moment and calmly asked him, "Were you waiting for a reaction from me?" and then just walked away. Peter has gotten away with threatening and bullying people into submission for many years. His usual tactics are straight from the narc playbook. Peter is the emotional equivalent of a spoiled toddler having prolonged tantrums and acting out his infantile aggression. Because he's a grown-ass man and not a little child, his aggression and hysterical behavior confuses and frightens people. It was time for some limits. Much to Peter's dismay, he's not King Henry VIII reincarnated. He's a ridiculous person that needs to put himself in a time-out. He needs to take his rage, power, and control issues and his inability to regulate his emotions to an actual qualified therapist. Maybe he should put this information in the files he keeps on us. Lol, it's so performative. And then that fake ha 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 laugh he does. I decided to subject myself to his vlog nonsense after cutting him loose completely. He mentioned a LV cologne to his neighbor all nonchalantly, which was these designer brands are such a flex for him for whatever reason. I guarantee no one knows nor cares if I'm wearing Chanel or a $20 fragrance I blind bought on Amazon. His main character syndrome is something else. Still, he offers nothing and takes freely. He just fascinates me on a certain level because he's the antithesis of who I perceive myself to be and whom I choose to surround myself with. It's all an act. His misery is always present. Between talking about the birds and the trees and bragging about himself, he's usually whining or complaining about something. Or he's upset because someone said he's old or his relationship is odd. It ain't a fun time. His vlog is just a place for him to gain supply and attention, along with his other channels. How many does he have now? 6 or 8? If you didn't know Peter was a narcissist, you need only look at his multiple channels, named after himself, where he talks about himself non-stop. He's fascinating because there's 10 years of his angry, arrogant, and strange behavior across multiple channels. Yet, he expects no one will ever question or dislike what he says and does. That's truly mind-blowing. I was cracking up when he was talking about how thick his hair is and I could see the entirety of the top of his scalp. Face with tears of joy. Oh, to be that level of delusional. That level of delusion isn't reached by most people. I had to check to see if I heard him correctly. Peter is a special one in the category of unmatched delusions. I'll give him that. Has his audience really been dwindling? I haven't been paying attention to him much. I don't see how it would be possible for him to keep viewers. He's literally just been repeating the same 10 topics for years. His old vlogs used to get many more views, sometimes up to 8K, 10K, and 12K. Now he's lucky to get 2 to 3K. His audience has changed. His narcissism was toxic to those who recognized it. A lot of them flew the coop. Most of his current audience seem to want repetitive and boring content. They tell him they enjoy the same stories about his mother and his childhood. They want to talk books and movies. I sense some don't have the emotional bandwidth nor the intelligence for much more. They feel comforted by his daily routines, chatting to the birds and drinking coffee on his porch. He doesn't appeal to people who want more intellectual stimulation and interesting content. He doesn't understand this though. He treats his viewers like they have the strength for his self-absorbed histrionics about his haters. He will lose these viewers too, if he doesn't start reading the room. An old coot, as someone rightly described Peter. Sitting on his front porch acting like the king of the neighborhood can be intimidating to some people, especially if they know he talks about them on his vlog channel. He's also the neighborhood gossip and a general pain in the ass. I wish Laura would keep her distance from him. Interestingly, he shared 2 negative stories about his deceased neighbors. This was way before he claimed the neighborhood for himself with his diffuse boundaries and daily camera footage. He said one older woman was rude to him when he first moved in. He loudly complained that he wasn't welcomed the way he wanted, with homemade casseroles and loaves of bread. This woman apparently shoved a loaf of half-eaten bread in his mailbox. I wish she was still alive today. LOL smiling face with open mouth and tightly closed eyes. Another neighbor said she thought his mother was bipolar. That tracks too. If Peter wasn't mocking and heckling his neighbors from his porch with a camera set up, he'd have much more pushback. I guarantee that they don't love him like he pretends to love them. He has seemed to back off a bit. I heard a shot or 2 towards PPL in here, but they were sly. I really think the snark was slow for a few weeks, not a lot of posts at all. When he went away on Vokey, the snark picked up. I think he got worried about not having his viewership from the snarkers. I just can't imagine why he would waste his vacation getting upset about what was being said in here. A few people from this sub were living rent-free in his brain during vacation. Last night's vlog was the usual talking about his exes and how much time he spent with them, and how him and A spend time apart, and it's so much more healthy. He's continuing to reassure himself his relationship is a model relationship. He spoke about how A was transparent from their first date. He told Pete he went on dates for free meals and sex. And while with Peter on their first date they hadn't ate much, but he realized A said, "I only eat half my meal so I can bring home the rest to eat the next day for lunch," which he thought was so telling how honest A was. Yes, this is called using people. Anywho, I missed the hair comment. I guess I skimmed over, but he's lifted his hat many times and spoke of his very thick hair, and the receding hairline was back further from all the staples he had in his head, all 5 staples. If his hair is so thick, wonder why he uses thickening shampoos. Smiley face ROL Pete. Peter gets his narcissistic needs met by both groups. His lovers and his haters. Maybe even more so with his haters because he reacts, attacks and continually tries to control them. He expends all of his emotional energy on that quest, despite what he tells everyone. He also has a core audience now that doesn't meet his ego needs. He's bored with them, but he can still manipulate them into thinking he's a perpetual victim of harassment, stalking, bullying, etc. Nothing makes any realistic sense. He says himself that we don't contact him. How can we bully and harass someone we have no contact with? We also don't have a fleet of flying monkeys launching in his direction like he has at his disposal. Although there's much less of them now. Alex let Peter know who he was, and is, from the first date. He told Peter that he was going out with men for fun and for free meals. He didn't want to be smothered. He wanted uncomplicated. He wanted food and drinks, to have some fun and to have an active and full life outside of the relationship. Alex hasn't changed. In true narcissistic fashion, Peter love-bombed Alex, bombarding him with texts on how much he missed him and telling Alex he loved him almost immediately. Alex was concerned with the emotional intensity of the situation. He let Peter know that he was feeling uncomfortable and that needed his space. Peter is still a narcissist, acting out his behavior. Alex is still trying to manage the relationship by staying away from it as much possible. Peter has been given limits and boundaries, as far as his histrionic rage spiraling, threatening to dox and intimidate people who don't like his behavior. He's an aggressive man who has proven he loves to fight and destroy others. He will need an outlet. He will displace his anger elsewhere. He regularly unloads it on other YouTubers, in his drama videos, harassing them with countless videos. Peter talked about his need for alone time and their divorce. He made a dig at people who wish that would happen. But he knows that the deeply ingrained patterns and problems in their relationship have nothing to do with us. His toxic behavioral patterns, their divorce depends on Alex's continued ability to tolerate him and Alex's willingness to recognize these destructive patterns. Alex is always first in line for his bullshit. He spoke of navigating his sexuality in a more personal way. I'm a huge critic of Peter, but I will acknowledge when he's attempting to be less of a jackass. When he told those intimate stories, he made another dig about people being old prudes. Hilarious smiling face with open mouth and tightly closed eyes, but he still continued to talk about his early experiences in navigating a specific dating culture. He didn't seem as tense during that part. Getting supply from his comments as well as coming to this sub, I really wonder how many folks here have been subjected to narcissist abuse or relationship. Raising hand, I do believe that is why I initially enjoyed his vlogs, until I realized I was suffering with anxiety like crazy. Being able to step away, access the situation, or in easier terms, check myself before I wreck myself, find this sub, find the people that also came to realize there was something deeper going on. I venture to guess most people here have suffered from narcissistic abuse at some point, or at least a form of toxic behavior. Certain personality disorders can overlap, especially narcissistic and histrionic. I turn Peter off sometimes because his toxic behavior isn't good for me, or anyone for that matter. I watch him as a case study, but detoxes are necessary for me, as my mother was histrionic. I know the symptoms well. Recently, I commented more here because he was addressing this sub. Yes. You're absolutely right. It's escapism. Alex has been there close to 18 years or so. He's probably not going anywhere, but I wish for him that he would reclaim his full independence. I guess I'm a prude too because I didn't have those kinds of intimate talks with my mother either. LOL, although, when my mother was hysterical or triggered, she could get weird and say sexually inappropriate things. I believe Peter's mother had a personality disorder. She used him for support, companionship, and her own emotional regulation. That's one reason he's enmeshed and resentful of her. Peter is talking and thinking about his alone time, and pondering if he were to lose Alex or be on his own because he's probably acting out more at home. The chances of Alex leaving will increase if Peter can't keep his harmful behavior in check. He's used to unleashing a lot of it online by devaluing his haters, and by constantly and aggressively addressing them in his videos, saying he's a victim of constant bullying, harassment and stalking. Telling his audience there are people who are like the horrible kids who hurt him when he was young and vulnerable. Feeling a sense of pride, power and control by his weak attempts to shame others into submission. Telling confusing and melodramatic stories about people who plague him with their online chatter. If he controls his nasty and narcissistic online behavior, then he will probably need another outlet in his real life. Alex can easily step into that role and become his target. If that happens more frequently, the chances of Peter being alone, now and in the future, increases. It was not, nor will it ever be safe to leave critical comments on his videos. In my opinion, he experiences a narcissistic injury when people correct him or criticize him. He has gone completely berserk many times. He also regularly mocks the people who attempt to give him light advice or suggestions. Peter is in the business of conjuring up intense emotions, emotional dependency, and anxiety in others. He does this in a number of ways. People are always very careful when they offer even a hint of correction, framing their words in ways not to upset him and leaving blue hearts or other signs that they are docile and subservient. He sends his flying monkeys after people too. I wish Alex would reclaim his independence. He definitely spaced out during the Q&A. don't think he's trying as much as he used to. I really don't like how he manipulates his viewers as he does. There is a certain nuance to his newer viewers that I picked up on which I will not comment on because I'm not sure myself, but perhaps a kind of perceived more vulnerability. Just something I'm picking up on. I hope they find this sub and participate if they find themselves confused with his intermittent reinforcement. Thank you for sharing your views. I absolutely enjoy learning more also to help me understand how I can improve on myself. Smiling face. PS My brother is a teacher, so is his wife. She compliments my penmanship, but the bro corrects my grammar constantly. LOL. In my opinion, Alex has learned to mentally check out, which can progress to dissociation. 18 years with Peter will do that to a person. Alex also quickly controlled his tears. I have my thoughts on that as well. I agree, and I've noticed more of a vulnerability in his viewers. His audience is definitely unaware they are cycling through a narcissistic pattern with him. I do not think most of them can comprehend that, but maybe a few will have a light bulb moment. Any person who has been helped by him is an anecdotal occurrence. At his core, he's not a safe place to land. I write these dissertations for us to discuss, but also for them, should they find themselves here. That's one of the reasons Peter wants to silence this information. Just like His Royal Highness, Peter. I have a right to my opinions, especially about the many years of behavior and interactions he has put on the internet. When I was in school, we'd sometimes learn about different personalities and psychiatric disorders by discussing characters in movies or TV shows. It sounds weird, but we didn't have the internet back then. We learned about borderline personality disorder, so the boundaries were blurred from the beginning. It makes a lot of sense. I love my now adult children beyond anything ever, however we don't discuss those things. I think he wanted more of a loving husband performance during their vacation, and Alex is over it, which I think really put a bee in Peter's butt. As long as everyone is playing their respective roles in his monoverse to his expectations, it's acceptable. If not, he becomes unglued quickly. From the movie Fatal Attraction. I love learning too. I hope more people find these threads helpful, especially in understanding Peter's destructive behavior. Knowledge is power. Exactly. Blurred boundaries with an emotionally dependent and depressed mother. Peter said she made him her entire world. Not a good thing. Very difficult time to navigate. I agree. It doesn't take much to completely unglue Peter. Alex wanted to share a story about how he had an accident in his pants and Peter was covering his mouth, acting like he shouldn't say it. Talk about unnecessary and stupid control. I don't know what Alex puts in his vape, but I hope it's something to take the edge off. The sub is proof that Peter's days of threatening are long gone.
Choice you made.
It's not the topic, it's the way you go on.
Like a podcast ran that just won't be gone.
We're begging for silence, a moment of peace. But here comes another overshare release. Don't call us fools, we're just tired, babe.
You're giving secondhand cringe on a silver tray.
It's not that deep, but you make it loud.
Now the whole room's looking very unproud.
Don't call us prudes, no, 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 no.
We just don't need a full play-by-play show.
Keep it cute, keep it light,
Keep it moving along.
not every thought needs a three-act song.
Now he's doubling down like he's got a case.